Good evening, Cyprus. Today we have our first Tap the Match Show Cyprus edition. We have three special guests, Mr. Emrah Adali, Dr. Osman Emiroglu, and Grand Master Flavio Behring. Together, they will talk about history, business, and the new BJJ era in MPower Sports Clubs. My name is Juliano Baraqueti. I am a black belt, second degree in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for Behring Team, and I hope that everybody enjoyed this moment together us. But first, I ask you subscribe in our channel, like, share, and comment. We start in a few minutes. Hi guys, I want to call here Mr. Emrah Adali, co-manager from MPower Sports Club. Hi, Mr. Emrah, how are you? Emrah, okay, I think I have some problem. I call here Mr. Osman. Hi, Emrah, how are you? Can you hear me? I call also, okay, I call Mr. Emrah more later. Mr. Osman Emiroglu. Hi, Osman, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Osman,
Emrah, okay now?
Yes, we are okay.
Everything okay? Very good. And my master, the Grand Master Flavio Behring. Hi, Master, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Fantastic.
Very good. Thank you. I will pass the word from Osman. Osman have some questions for Master Flavio, and we can start our interview today. Hi, Osman, it's with you.
Hi, everybody again, Mr. Behring. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure.
And as we are very new in this issue of the Jiu-Jitsu now in the country, I want to ask some questions. Maybe we can start our conversation with the basic questions that you can answer very easily. We have many ages, different kind of ages. The beginners, the kids, and the ladies, and the over 30 years old. And we just want to learn the benefits of Jiu-Jitsu for kids at the beginning, because I think it's personality development, very important for personality development. But you can give some detailed information about this. Can you give me the benefits of the holistic development of the kids?
That's for sure. Well, okay, I have to say something because I have so many persons that I invited to come and to be with us, and from U.S., from Europe, from Puerto Rico, Canada. So welcome everybody. So okay, the first thing is education. Jiu-Jitsu is depending on for sure the teacher quality and know-how and knowledge. Basically is education, preparing a person for life. As Jiu-Jitsu is based on self-defense, so what we look after that a person that has a self-confidence, that knows exactly their possibilities, so they are more confident to go so they can have a better life. But the first step is educating. When you talk about kids, the teacher has to teach them how to be to respect. That's the first step, and how to behave. The second step, and how not only to behave inside of the academy, but to behave on life. So what do I do when I face a problem? What kind of steps I have to step on to overcome. So those things depends on the teacher quality and know-how, as I was saying before. So basically, education is the main point.
Yes. So can you give the self-confidence that you said for the kids at the end of the period? What can we see as a change for kids? So at the beginning, maybe they have more energy, but do they have any chance to control their energy? That's the point that I want to ask you.
Yes, for sure. Well, the teacher must be controlling behavior inside of the academy. And as he does this, for sure, this is going to be go on his life at school, at home, and everywhere. But what I was talking about, self-confidence, is something that you get because you can overcome obstacles. So that's the main point. Because Jiu-Jitsu, and based on self-defense, you learn how to protect yourself, how to behave yourself facing someone that wants to, well, let's say, to bully you. Doesn't matter. It's how strong it is and how heavy it is, but the way that you behave yourself. If you can avoid not be involved in a problem, that's the first step. If you don't have a chance to avoid it, how do you behave yourself, protecting yourself? And on the other step, you behave, you protect yourself, but don't hurt your opponent. Don't hurt the person that is trying to bully you. Just to let him know that you are prepared to face, and you are prepared to let's say to give him a lesson. But when I talk about self-confidence, I have myself, my life, I have a lot of experience on this because I was a very weak boy when I started practicing Jiu-Jitsu. It was 72 years ago. And I was very weak. I was afraid of everything. So I was not a coward, but I was just afraid because I was a weak boy. So I was afraid of any physical contact. So anyone that could bully me because I was not prepared to face or to behave myself confidently. So then when I start practicing Jiu-Jitsu, I start moving up many steps. And I became a very confident boy when I was about 14 years old. Was not so fast because my growing, my confident growing, just because I was having not many classes, and I was training with Grand Master Hélio Gracie directly. And I used to go to his home and to practice with him. So I knew techniques, but inside of me, I was not confident that those techniques could support my self-confidence. And I only found out that I could overcome all those kind of problems when I start practicing with Grand Master João Alberto Barreto, and he was a boy like me. I was 13, 14, and he was 16, 17 years old. So as I identify myself with that kind of person, so it's easy for me to absorb from him all the confidence he had. Because on the beginning with Grand Master Hélio Gracie, he was a man already. So I suppose on my way of thinking that every man was confident because I have as a reference my father. So the second step I had as reference my master Hélio Gracie, but he was older than me, almost 30 some years. So when I started practicing with the Grand Master Hélio João Alberto Barreto, then I found out that a boy like me, a little bit older, has something to give me exactly as I needed. So then I start being confident. And I was not supposed to fight on the street. I was not supposed to go out and try to practice my knowledge with other persons, even in the school. So, because that was the main rule. As you know what you know to defend yourself if something happens. But don't try to prove anything to anybody because you don't need it. So this is the first step. So consider that to when I talk about self-confidence, for me it took a long time just because of that. But nowadays it's easier because the boy comes into an academy, a boy or girl come into the academy. He has some other students, so he can test himself every day. As I was alone with Grand Master Flavio Gracie, I couldn't test because he was so strong, so bigger than me that I just tried to do something. But I knew that he was giving me a chance to do that. But when I start training with some other persons, then I found out that I was capable, and I became a little bit more confident each time. So when I was 16, I was fighting already and fighting in the academy, and I was very confident about everything. So it takes sometimes depend on the kid background, on the kid's experience in life. But I do believe in all my life, 65 years teaching, I had so many kids working with me, and I can tell you 100% of the kids, they became more confident and they could overcome all the obstacles that they face. First, on his personal life. Second, when they grow up into a business life, or let's say marriage or a girlfriend, because you get more confident. You have a more power inside of you to overcome all the problems.
Very nice. Thank you, Master Emrah. I think Osman have some problem and you come back.
Yes, absolutely. So can I ask you something? Because
Sure.
I started 2 years ago. What's your advice to me? What's your advice for beginners like me? Actually, is it too late to start age 35? Because I'm 35 years old and I love so much the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What's your advice for beginners like me?
So the first thing you have to think is that you are a boy. You are a boy. You're not too old. 35 years old is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
One of my friends, Grand Master Alberto Barreto, he had a student
Söyle hiçbir
that start training with him, and the person was 80 years old, 80. And he became a black belt when he was 95. So time or age is not relevant. That's the first step. So the second thing is when you train to be more healthy, or to be have more fun, more pleasure, that's nothing can be an obstacle for you. But one thing, the advice that I give you is to persist, to go on, to believe that each step that you go over, you are getting something else to your personal life. You see, the way that let's talk about self-defense, for example. If you know how to defend yourself, if you know how to keep your balance, because self-defense are two main things. The first one is timing. The second one is what do you say? That's oh boy, that's I'll come back with that. So
okay.
So as you start practicing, remember that you are doing that for yourself. Don't look around and try to compare yourself to anybody. Not even with your teacher. Your teacher is a reference.
Yeah.
Okay? So just be confident that each step and each moment that you go to train, you are gaining, you are receiving something that will help you in life. As I was talking before about self-confidence, that imagine that if someone hold you, a bear hug, for example, and imagine inside of you that you say, I know how to escape from that. I know to avoid not being there. So imagine how much confidence you have inside of you to overcome all the obstacles that you have in your life. So so don't worry about age. Don't worry about being just a beginner, because I am a beginner. I learn every day. I learn with everyone. When I'm teaching, I'm learning. So imagine now on my life, 82 years old, and I still practicing, I'm still training, I'm still having fun, and just because, and every time that I practice, every time that I'm training with someone, I'm learning and absorbing some new informations. And the basic information for me is, okay, I used to do that, but my body now don't let me do exactly that. So what do I have to learn to keep doing that without any extra effort? I cannot hurt myself. So this is learning all the time. So the first thing, look forward, don't look back. Each day is a new day. Each experience is a new experience. Each training is a new experience. And remember, when you are training, I'm talking about sport. That is for fun. And that's the one part, fun.
Yeah.
And the second part is overcoming. I can do better every day. So I don't, but
Thank you,
don't,
Flavio.
yeah, but remember one thing, don't put a charge over your shoulders, okay? Because everything comes naturally. Jiu-Jitsu is so natural for your body and your body capability, that you are going to be surprised that one day you are going to be doing things like I was in the beginning of this year before the pandemic. I was in the United States and I was teaching some techniques, and I started trying to do techniques that I used to do some years ago, and I did it with such a ability and perfection that everyone was a boy. How can you do that on your age? I said I couldn't believe that I was able to do it again, but I am.
Johnny!
So if I am, I'll do it. See? So don't look back. Look forward.
Very nice, Master. Thank you. I think the connection is not so good here. I want to ask you one thing. Jiu-Jitsu in Cyprus is so young now. We have some guys make a good job before me, but now we have a new concept for Jiu-Jitsu with self-defense, not only about sport or about uh, or about titles or something like that, or performance. What do you think for these people that no understand Jiu-Jitsu like self-defense and only e-sport, only sport?
Yeah, this is natural because everything that let's say all the news, all the videos. I'm talking about 90% of the internet videos. They talk about sport. They talk about performing. They don't talk about self-defense. So self-defense is something that you know that you as my student, you know how much you have to prepare yourself to be a better teacher in self-defense, because sport is simple. You teach some basic techniques and the person have fun. So, but self-defense is different, because self-defense you have just one chance, one single chance when you talk about defending yourself facing a problem. So that's why the teacher has to be responsible teaching exactly what your students need to know. But it's natural everywhere in the world. Every place I visit, most of the person, they like to roll. They like to just to have fun. And sure, okay, but this is the second part. First, you have to know the fundamental techniques to be better. It's like speaking a new language. You want to speak a new language? What do? Vocabulary and grammatic. So you must know how to do it. Otherwise, you cannot make a phrase. So you have to understand that the fundamentals in Jiu-Jitsu are the basic things that you need to know Jiu-Jitsu, to have all the answers for the questions that you have inside of you. So what I'm telling to everyone in Cyprus, this is natural. Okay, but you have 1 hour class or 45 minutes or 1 hour and a half, doesn't matter. But if you have a class, remember the first step in the class is to learn. The second one is to have fun. What is having fun? Then you can roll. But you have a good teacher to supervise you.
Yeah.
And to guide you exactly what you need. Not what you are seeing on the internet or what you are doing with some other student with you, like you. No, it's exactly what you need. Okay, let's talk about the armbar. You are more than a person. Okay, let's do a traditional armbar, Jigatami. Okay, so probably you're going to find some students that are not able to do it that exactly as it should be done. Why? Because he is not prepared, or his body is not ready for that, or his timing is not ready for that. The second word that I was talking about is precision. To be precise, you have to practice. And what is practicing? Practicing is one day after the other, is repeating. I have to repeat a technique so many times that I'll be able to respond immediately as I'm requested. So if you see someone in front of you, let's talk about sport, in front of you, and you pass a guard, for example, go for a side control. So if you don't have a vocabulary, what are you going to do? You're going to be satisfied just that you pass a guard and got to control? Life is not like that. Life is different. You have to have a submission. You have to know how to submit a person. And that needs, overall, it needs precision, knowledge.
Very nice.
So I would say to everyone in Cyprus, okay, just give some time.
Yes, Flavio, but in Cyprus the possibilities are very limited because in North Cyprus now meeting to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very new sports, but we are very lucky because Juliano he is here. Actually, he's a good teacher and he is a good teach together. So now we are lucky, but 2 years ago and 3 years ago, the possibilities are very limited, actually. So because no black belts, no teachers 4 years ago, 3 years ago, now we are lucky. But what do you think? Small countries, people, sometimes they didn't lucky because sometimes the possibilities very limited. What do you think? What do you forward and looking to only YouTube's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? What they do?
Well, I'll say that if you want to watch,
Can I add?
what else?
Okay, Osman. Okay, keep master. Can talk Osman Inter again.
Okay, if a student if he wants to know, or she wants to see internet, to see techniques internet, okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But as you come to the academy, ask your teacher. I saw that. What do you advise? What kind of advice do you give me? And probably the teacher will say, okay, this doesn't work with you. It's no good for you. So the teacher is the person that will help you to be better. That's the person that's going to be guiding you. So I have this kind of problem everywhere in the world. Person that I'm teaching something sometimes, and say, I saw on internet this kind of technique. Okay, show me. And a person showed me, okay, and now you think that you did it correctly? Oh yes, for sure. I learned on the internet. No, you are not. This is not appropriate for you, because you're not going to submit anyone doing this. I can give you an advice, but you have to listen to me, and after that you have to practice as I say, because as I am over the mats 72 years of my life, I can assure you that if you say do it because it works. So that's the teacher. When I have a person that teaches under my name, he must be the same way. He must have the knowledge to help the students, to guide the student, to drive the student for the right over the right track, in order to be better inside of him. And if he wants to fight tournament, okay, that's good. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
But that's not important, because if you have, how many medals Juliano has? Where are the medals?
Yeah.
See,
I
why?
never asked you.
Because it doesn't matter. A medal is very nice when you receive it. The moment you get it, the moment you put it around your neck, if you have a trophy, it's good. You put it home, but forget it, because another day is another life. You're going to face other problems. You face all other persons. So those things are very important to be thinking. So performing is a fantastic for the moment.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
But you have to overcome every time to be better, and overall try to be a better person. That's the point.
Actually, this is best thing in my life. Actually, yes.
Sure.
Can I ask Mr. Behring?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
When we think about outside the Brazil, which part of the world that you can see the most growing interest in the jiu-jitsu, or country or part of the world?
Yes,
do you have an idea
first
about
was
Europe or North America or China?
the first country is the United States, right? Because many, I don't know how many, but most of the top black belts, Brazilian black belts, went to live in the United States because they got a better opportunity to work, better opportunity to make money, okay? And so they went to live in the United States. So since this move of black belts into the United States, Jiu-Jitsu grows so fast that now I can tell you that's probably the second country practicing Jiu-Jitsu as in Brazil. In Europe, there are some countries like France, like some Germany, some Belgium, Holland, some northern countries in Europe, northern countries, and for sure in Spain and Portugal. So all those countries that I was talking about, they are growing so fast, they're expanding so fast. Jiu-Jitsu spreading all over. There are so many new academies, so many so many new black belts coming on. Okay, what I'm afraid of myself, I'm talking about quality.
Yeah.
This is my concern. Is about quality, because forming a black belt, preparing a black belt,
but you are
it's not just put a black belt on your waist. It's something that you have to have all the background, all the tech, not only techniques, but who are you? What kind of background? Let's say let's consider a scientific background. What kind of knowledge you have when you teach? Do you know pedagogy? You know how to do it? So those points are fundamental. So those kind of black belts, they are good as a coach. So they coach people to train for tournaments, for competition. But the essence, the main thing in Jiu-Jitsu or any martial art, that means knowledge as deep as possible. That's a little bit hard and has to be a better and let's say teacher with a deep knowledge. So I'm gonna say something else. Having a place, academy, with any kind of a coach that train people is so easy. You don't have to know anything else, just to put a person to roll. Those kind of person, what they do, they show techniques. Showing technique is something that they are able to do, but probably you are not going to be able to do. A teacher teaches you what you have to do to be better for you. So you're gonna have more confidence and more pleasure practicing this way instead of just putting to roll. Because imagine that you go to the academy and roll with a person, but with no knowledge. What's going to be? You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to pay a price for that. But if you have knowledge, and all the other persons at the academy under a good control, a good guidance from the teacher, they're going to respect you and help you to grow. That's the main difference.
So
Okay.
I have a last question.
Yes, sir.
And
Come
then,
on.
what do you think, Flavio? How will BJJ be after the pandemic? Because the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is so close, and then so close contact. What do you think? What do you feature in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu after pandemic, actually?
Yeah, you may see this already in some countries that they are open already. I have so many associate academies in the United States. They are open already.
Yeah.
There are some new protocols. See, for example, when you train with someone, it has to be your let's say the personal partner. That's one thing that happens. If you want to roll with a person, you're going to be rolling because as a person that you already had been experiencing being with him, and a person like you that will not contaminate you. So now, be sure that many academies, as they reopen, the professors, teachers are going to have a new point to help people to restart training, not only let's say performing or about knowledge techniques, but about the behaving, about how they are gonna be behaving themselves. Because most of the person here in Brazil, there are some places that you may start practicing jiu-jitsu, but people are afraid to go on. That's the point. But even have a full protocol, like in the United States, some of the academies associated to me, they have so good protocols that there's no risk. There's no risk. Not just open academy. No, come on, everybody, let's go roll.
Yeah.
No, there are so many things that you have to prepare your place and prepare yourself to be teaching differently. It's not just put someone to train. That's going to be different, completely different. And persons are going to be different too. Yeah.
Yes, this is the point, because the people's very afraid to gym for everywhere. Actually, now 40% jobs is fell in the gym. Maybe we are looking to feature. I hope it's over to pandemic, and then we come back to back to life again. Actually, so Osman, do you have any question? Because you left.
Yes, I have. Yes, I'm just interested in. You said pedagogy. You said experience. These are very important things, I think, in education. That you know that there is a time period that somebody should be in the process.
Ooh,
Oh,
We lost
we
again.
might have a bad connection there.
yeah. Welcome to Cyprus.
But now we have his router or something like this. His
No,
router.
I have this kind of problem every time here too.
Yes, Flavio, I hope maybe you come to North Cyprus, maybe your holiday. I wish come to in Cyprus. We see you.
For sure,
Yeah.
I'll be there this year probably as soon as I'll be able to, because I heard that, for example, Europe countries are not accepting Brazilians.
Yeah.
So this is a pity because the news are not good, not because the problem is so spread. No, it's because news are fake. But
Yeah.
okay, so we're gonna go.
Osman, can you hear us?
Huh?
I think Osman.
Yes,
Osman?
Osman.
Yes, we're
He's
talking about
here.
pedagogy.
Yeah, I think he's okay. Osman, can you talk?
Yes, you know, I number of
Oh,
Oh,
again,
oh
Boy.
my.
Master. I talked too much about Jiu-Jitsu with Emrah in the gym, and Emrah. Okay, I think Osman's coming. Osman's coming back. Okay, Osman.
Yes, coming back. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bad connection. Okay, and Emrah is
Osman
a
will come to a problem.
yeah. We have a big team from kids in the gym now. We can. Okay, Osman, can you talk? We need to join to enjoy your time here.
Yes, can you hear me? I'm
Perfect.
my
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, Emrah, can you talk? Can you talk? No problem. I
Yeah.
fix this with Osman here.
Okay, so yes, so I'm very curious about you, Flavio. How did you start to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? This is very important for me because you are a red belt. And then how did you start?
Well, I start, as I said, 72 years ago, in 1947. I was 10 years old, and I had asthma, and I was a weak boy. So my father wanted me to practice some sport. I have tried many, like swimming, like playing soccer, things like that.
Yeah.
But I could not be feel good because with no air to breathe, so it was very hard. So he tried to take me. He took me to Hélio Gracie's house. He was a friend of Hélio Gracie, and asked Hélio, "Could you teach my son? Let's see what's happened." So it was very nice at the beginning, but as was a small room, okay, and every time I got in there, I used to have an asthma crisis. So just because I thought it was dusty around and things like that, so that's what's more psychological problem. So during let's say from 10 to 13, I was going and not going because most of the time I was with a crisis. So Well, one day I suffered a bullying at school, and then Hélio Gracie, my father talked to Hélio Gracie again, and Hélio Gracie went to my school and picked me up and okay, now you're going to be training every day. I'll take you to my new academy, and I'm going to introduce you to someone that's going to be helping you. That was João Barreto. Then I started training with him, learning with him, and he was a young boy, 16, 17 years old. So I could identify myself with him. So then I start, and I start, because Hélio said to João Alberto, look, I want that you treat this boy as your brother, younger brother, and prepare him to be a good teacher and a champion. And João Alberto was capable to do this. Okay, that's not. I think that in 2 years later, I was very well, and I was 17. I became an instructor at the Gracie Academy, and I was strong. I was a very healthy man. So I believe that Jiu-Jitsu changed my life. I think more because of my self-confidence that I didn't have asthma crisis anymore. That's why I insist on talking about self-confidence, because before I was not confident. I was afraid of everything. When I became self-confident that I could overcome all the problems that I faced, okay, asthma went away. When I was 14, no asthma anymore. So I can tell you for real that Jiu-Jitsu was the step I need to be a person that I became. So, and I became a good teacher, and since 1955, I'm teaching, and I love to teach.
Wow. This is very perfect story, actually.
Okay,
Now I'm very lucky.
Come on.
Am I in now?
Yeah, it's incredible. But
Can you hear me?
your sound, I cannot listen to you.
Yes. The thing that I asked before, I don't know exactly whether that you heard about it. You know the 10,000 hour rules that one should have 10,000 hour experience in order to be master. So is Jiu-Jitsu has its own time limit to be master? Or you said before it's a lifelong journey, I think. But subjects need 10,000 years or 1,000 hours. That's why I ask you.
Sure.
What is the time limit? What is the time limit for experienced master in Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, I believe that that's I can consider it as in two different points. The first point is the one that the federation, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu International Federation, they point some time for you to become graduate. The first step, black belt, first degrees, until 5-6 degrees, then to be a master 7, to be a master's 8 degrees, and to be a Grand Master 9 degrees. I think it's a Grand Master. They establish something around, I think it's 48 or 50 years as a black belt. Because a Grand Master is someone that should be the, let's say, more intellectual, more philosophy, and more concepts than just teaching techniques. That's a position of a Grand Master. I'm a little bit different because I feel so young that I love to be on the mats teaching, putting my hand and trying fire. See, that's a little bit different. But a Grand Master should be that way. On my point of view, is I consider that maturity is something that you get with the experience of your life. Now, For example, for me, a black belt could be made in 5, 6, 8 years. Depends how much time the person expands on the mat with a master. Okay, so this is the first step. But normally, I think to be prepared to teach, to be ready with a fundamental pedagogy techniques in order to be good teacher and to be responsible to what they say and what they teach, I think 8 to 10 years is a good time. This is my point.
So the rule is the rule, like the other subjects,
Yeah.
like the music teacher or like the other teaching.
Yeah, that's right.
10 years is enough for to be understand from your mistakes.
That's right.
Create your own philosophy.
That's right.
And use your feedback mechanism very easily for your students. Thank you.
Yeah. Even if a person shows himself as a good teacher before, I had some experience. A person with a purple belt was teaching, trying to teach with so consistently that I was surprised. And but even being good on teaching, or let's say not teaching, but trying to let's say to show techniques and to help people with the techniques. But another important step is life experience, not only over the mats, but life experience on life. That's why in Jiu-Jitsu, you become a black belt only when you are 18. So this is the first step. So you are on an age that probably you had some experience of your life. You are almost an adult, so you are prepared to be a black belt. But sometimes a person 30 years old are not prepared to be a black belt. They're not mature enough to handle this responsibility. But all right.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Flavio, so can you
Yes.
ask you something? How is important in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Technical or power or both? Which is one important?
Now, the first is the technique, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was the let's see the weapon that Hélio Gracie had, because he was a man 62 kilos, so he was a light person. So Jiu-Jitsu was the weapon that he had to fight with a strong and bigger person, probably sometimes 50 kilos or more than that over him.
Yeah.
So he was not a powerful man, as I'm talking about physically, but mentally and technically, yes.
Yeah.
So the most important part is, the most important thing that you have to think is your internal power and your knowledge, and how good you are on precision, because Jiu-Jitsu is so precise that you cannot make a mistake. Your mistake is going to be the way that I'm going to get you. So, for example, when I train, Juliano knows that because we have been training sometimes, and I provoke my opponent to make mistakes. You see, I stimulate my opponent to make mistakes. Every time he makes a mistake, I get a step over him. So this is my strategy. But considering that, this is a point. This is an interesting point, that you power is good, because on tournaments nowadays, in Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, you may say that power and strength are two very important points to win a fight, more than technique or strategy, because they are all athletes. If you see a a black belt fight, well, I'm talking about adults. Boy, they're physically impressive. They're impressive. It's incredible how strong and how powerful they are. But that's not the main thing. I remember, for example, person like Riley Gracie. Riley was a very light person, and when he used to fight open division, it was fantastic because he got personal sometimes double of his size on his weight, and he could win just because of the strategy and knowledge, ability, and precision.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would say, I don't know how, but for example, if you are light, that's my advice. Don't be under a heavy guy. That's basically.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to skip.
I'm 100 kilograms, and
oh, that's okay. So you have a good. Yeah. So I don't want to be under you. That's why.
Sorry, Master. Sorry, Master. We have 10 minutes to the end now. I want to, Emrah, your final considerations, please, and we need to finish here.
Yes, I'm very happy, and then I'm very happy your advice. Actually, I'm very happy to speak to you. Yes, we love to see you here. Maybe one day, maybe after pandemics.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we come to in Brazil. Why not? Is it possible? So I'm very happy to talk to you.
Thank you. I'm happy too. So and be sure if everything goes okay till the end of the year, I'll be there. Be sure.
Thank you.
I have an agreement. I have an agreement with Juliano.
I'm trying to put Osman on live again for his final considerations, but if I cannot, when I try here, Master, please, your final considerations, your advices, and everything you want, please.
Well, the first thing I would like to say is that don't try to practice Jiu-Jitsu to be better than anyone. Find in Jiu-Jitsu the way to be better yourself. Okay, to overcome your problems, your personal problems, being more confident because you are capable. Practicing Jiu-Jitsu, you're going to find out that you are yourself without considering anything from outside, that you are capable to be a better person, to be a better practitioner, and who knows, a better fighter. But the main thing is confidence. But to be confident, you must at least give yourself a chance to practice. But remember, another time I'm going to say about self-defense. If you know how to prepare yourself, how to defend yourself, for sure you are going to be more confident. Because self-defense, there are two main things. Okay, timing and precision. If you don't have the right timing, you lose a chance. You lost a chance. If you don't have a precision on your definition, your submission, you lost a chance. Self-defense is something that you have one chance. It's like you have one shot. You have one bullet on your gun. Or you get the aim, or you're going to be in trouble. So that's why I consider that self-defense is the basic and most important thing in practicing Jiu-Jitsu. Osman, are you there?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, my interest is in the talent identification, and also my master degrees on. It's a kind of topic: the talent identification, selection, development, and competition. So how do you understand talented students? Do you have any master eye for it, or are you doing some drills for it? So do you have any point of view that 20 kids they started, but you point that talented star before they compete the competition? Do you have that eye of master? That's the point I want to ask you.
Yeah, this is interesting. As I was not on my whole life focused on performing, I'm talking about students. I was not the better talent. Let's say identifications. See, I could say, for example, Hélio Gracie. It was amazing. He could point it. He used to walk on the streets in Rio de Janeiro and talking to the people on the streets. Oh, come on, let's go to my academy. I think you're going to be a good fighter. And he was right. My son, Silvio, he has his sensibility. His touch is fantastic. See? I can say, for example, if I see someone fighting, I can tell you something. But fighting, real fight. But outside of that, I can explore a little bit more. I have to go a little bit more deep in order to make a person, to help me to identify if a person has some talent to be a fighter. But I can tell you, to be a teacher, yes, my finger touched exactly the point. I can tell you, this guy is a good teacher. He's not ready yet, but he's going to be a good teacher. But a fighter is a little bit different. This is another.
What characteristics are you looking in the coaching? You said you point, but
Yeah.
What is the main thing that you point that skillful or talented coaches? What are the characteristics?
The first, personality. The second, behavior. The way a person behaves himself, the way a person, his personality, the way he shows himself, the way he talks, the way he observes, the way he wants, the way, not the way, but how deep he wants to learn and to go learning. Those points for me are these are the main points. We have a live here in Brazil that called Jiu-Jitsu Legacy every Saturday. And I'm asking all the black belts that are Brazilians, okay, that they have to see the live and write me a page, let's say one page, about what they thought about it, what are the feelings, because then I will identify the person. He needs some more skills to improve their teaching capacity, or if the person is ready already. So this is the points for me. So it's I observe a person as a person behave, facing or relating with me or relating with the other person. And second one, personality, the way that he posture himself, the way he talked to a person. So those things call my attention to let's say, to say that the person, they are probably will be a good coach, a good teacher.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we are lucky, our kids will find that the coaches that you describe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to. No, see, Juliano has a mission. When he went to Cyprus, I told him, "You have a mission, my friend." So
He has
yeah,
these characteristics. We know that.
So he has to prove that my trust on him was right. But he's a, let's say, he's a warrior. So as being a warrior, he's gonna be okay, and he's gonna be helping a lot on Cyprus knowledge, Jiu-Jitsu knowledge, for sure. If
Thank you,
not, I'm
Master.
going there. If not, I'm going there. I'm going to choke him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Mr. Emrah. Thank you, Osman. We need to
Thank
finish.
you,
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Master. Thank you, everybody. We have people from Puerto Rico, United States, Cyprus, Brazil. We have people from all of the world watching us. It's
yeah.
a pleasure for everybody. I think we is on the world. Okay. See you guys. We have the next
See
program
you.
and next Sunday. Bye bye.
Yeah, and I see
Bye
you
bye.
soon in Cyprus. Huh?
Yeah,
Thank you, Flavio.
Come on.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Bye bye, bye bye, Master. Bye, Osman. Thank you, Osman, for your
Bye.
time. Thank you,
Bye
Emrah.
bye. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Tomorrow.
Bye bye. Bye bye.